Welcome to Add Firetown Live. Today we have another webinar with the presence of Dr. Shivani Pandit from the Foundation Saamarthya, and we are working with her in a couple of projects. One of them is to develop a pilot for an application. Lava Kumar from our office in India is working with her, but we also supporting her on the construction, selection, or preparation of the Family Resource Center in India. So, welcome, Dr. Shivani. I will make you a presenter. You can introduce yourself, your organization, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you so much, Fabian. It's a pleasure to be here. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to present my slides, and I hope it's all looking okay. If not, let me know. Thank you so much for to all of you for being here, wherever you are dialing in from today. So I am Shivani Pandit. I am a special educator. I have been working with children with autism and intellectual disabilities for the past 27 years, which is all of my life. I often tell people I know nothing else. All I know is to work with young children, improve their educational outcomes, and work with their families to support them and empower them. I've been in this field of disabilities since I was 18. So I have an undergraduate degree, a graduate degree, a doctoral degree, and a postdoctoral degree, everything in special education, which is why I say I know nothing else but to work with children with disabilities. And this passion of mine has led us to start this nonprofit organization that I currently lead, which is called Saamarthya Foundation, which is a 501(c)(3) registered organization in the US with operations in India. And I want to first thank Jagdish, Fabian, and the entire AppFire community for this wonderful opportunity and platform for me to share Samarthya's journey and to invite you to be a part of it. So let's get started. Today's agenda is fairly simple. I want to talk about Samarthya, what we do here, the need for what our solution is going to be, a family resource center that we are hoping to establish in February of 2024, ways in which you can get involved, and a little time left for Q&A, so you can ask me any specific questions that you may have about the projects that we are currently running. So, like I said, Samarthya is a 501(c)(3) registered organization. We provide intervention services to children with disabilities to develop their full potential and empower parents to support their children's unique developmental needs. In short, our mission is to create high quality, accessible, and inclusive learning opportunities for children with autism and intellectual and developmental disabilities. Currently, our programs are running virtually in India, but we do have a very big vision of replicating our model outside of India as well. So, what we do currently, I want to walk you through a little bit about our programs that we offer today. Now, when I said accessible services in my mission statement, that means a couple of different things, right? Accessibility is one is using technology. So, we provide accessible services. We use Zoom and other virtual platforms to provide intervention so that there is no location barrier for a parent. So, parent can be anywhere in the country and they can be connected to us, and our qualified team of special educators provides intervention services to their children. We have parents coming from small places like Begusarai in Bihar, to a family from Nepal, to some in Bangalore, to some in Bombay. It's a mixed bag. Basically, there is no barrier to receiving services anymore through our model. Accessibility also means, and this is extremely important to me and the mission of my organization, which is that every single parent who comes to Samarthya receives services for their child. We ensure that no family is turned away due to their financial background. So our pay as you can, or some people refer to as a sliding scale of approach of a revenue or fee system. What it means is that so there are two services that we offer. These are highly individualized and customized intervention services. Our one-on-one intervention service is delivered by a trained special educator. We do a thorough assessment and evaluation of the child. We decide and design an individualized educational plan, which is an IEP for the child. We have short term objectives, we have long term objectives. We do a lot of work on the entire developmental outcomes of the child and do parent coaching and parent support as well. So we do this in either one on one, depending on what the child's needs are, or we have small group intervention sessions online where we have children a batch of like 10 to 12 children, and we work with them together. Maybe we work on their social skills, maybe we work on their reading comprehension. So these are the two, highly time intensive and customized services that we deliver. So, of course, there's a cost to the organization, but I ensure that I don't pass on that cost to the families. In other words, the sliding scale of services, we let the parents determine the fee level at which they are able to participate. So, we offer scholarships, we offer placements to children who are unable to pay the full fee. And 70% of our families pay subsidized fees to us, which means half of the fee rate to pro bono. So from half to pro bono is our 70% of our families base that currently is able to pay. In addition, what you see always free on the right side are the services for which we have no charge whatsoever. Parent training and coaching, we have training modules that I have developed as a special educator, which helps a parent design the learning environment at their home in case they live in an area where there is no qualified interventionist, right? This is very, very important. If they can't access a center, if they can't access an interventionist, what are they supposed to do? So we have designed this parent training. This is done virtually. We can do it live. We have video modules so that parents can do it self-paced at their own time. Idea is to empower them with the skills and the strategies that I have as a special educator, so that they can really make that impact in their child's life. The second one, our offering is a Club Ananda recreational club, which is a twice a week we offer interesting, stimulating, enriching activities to children of all abilities and all ages. It's again a free service. All you need is a WhatsApp number. They join our community and they're able to access these services virtually from wherever they are. This is a hugely popular offering that we have. And you'll see a little bit of a clip later on in the presentation. Then we offer inclusive storytelling sessions in schools across, whether online or in person. We go into elementary schools and deliver storytelling, which basically focuses on ensuring that we sensitize young children to their peers with disabilities and have a conversation on disabilities that is strength based and inclusive in nature. These are again free of cost. We offer a lot of parental well-being, mental health focused sessions to ensure that when there is a child with a disability in the family, the parent is supported from day one. So this is kind of our current offering that we have, so to speak. And these are all online. I have a team of special educators from across the country, and it's really powerful to see that a parent who did not have access to services before they came to us, how they're able to benefit, how their child is able to benefit, and how we can see those changes in their child, week to week. Now, what is the actual need here? So 72% of the 2 million children with disabilities in India, yes, that's a very big, significant number, between the ages of 0 to 6, which is our early intervention age group, reside in smaller cities and rural areas. And we know that early intervention is absolutely critical for their journey in life, for their outcomes. In my 27 plus years of working with children with autism and intellectual disabilities, I have seen this firsthand, the impact that early intervention can have on development. There is no other way around it. But yet, a significant majority of these children are challenged in finding those enriching and stimulating high quality environments in those smaller cities, right? When children don't have access to high quality education and learning opportunities, they lose out on developing their full potential. Now, many children in these smaller cities, particularly, are not receiving therapies that their parents have limited access to qualified interventionists. They oftentimes need to travel to a physical center, a location which takes time and effort and money. And even if sometimes they have access to trained therapists in the cities that they live, they are quite unaffordable. Those services can be so unaffordable that a parent might delay, in receiving those services. That then leads to delay in recognition, consultation, and finally diagnosis of the child. So these are all the factors that have are barriers to parents receiving these services. And look at the need. The need is significant. The need is huge. We cannot We cannot turn away from these numbers, right? It's important to know that this many number of children could be not receiving access to high quality services. So what we want to do, our solution that we are here, I'm here to talk to you about, to share about, is developing a Samarthya Family Resource Center. It's going to be a smart center, and I'll talk a little bit about what that means in Pune, India, in 2024, to provide academic and enrichment opportunities to children and their families. Again, our purpose is to provide feasible and low cost interventions for low income communities. Those are our primary stakeholders. We want to create an inclusive and equitable world for children, irrespective of their parents' caste, race, geography, financial background, and ability. That to me is the core of what I do every single day. We want to conduct parent education activities, support parent needs, which is super critical to the success of the children's developmental outcomes. So our idea is to rent a space in Pune. We are working on that very actively and aggressively, a place that can house up to 50 children and families at any given point of time. And the reason I say it's a family resource center is that it's going to be an all-inclusive space for families, not just for child. What happens typically is that when you have a child with a disability, they are taken to a child development center, for example, which is great. Those centers work directly with the child, support the child's needs and the child's developmental outcomes. But what I want and what I have seen in my 27 plus years of experience is that that's like solving half the equation. What we need to do is work with the children's needs as well as the entire ecosystem of the disability, which includes parents, caregivers, grandparents, siblings, the entire unit we want to support through this family resource center. So what we are going to do is, who is it going to help? This is how we think about right now our proposed structure. We would offer early childhood sessions, group sessions, one-on-ones in the mornings. We would have individual sessions for parents and children in the afternoon, and we will also have some after school age group sessions 4 p.m. onwards. And what we are going to do here, again, what is the actual quality of this service that we are offering is going to be couple different things. So we will have individual child therapy room where we do these one-on-one interventions, and this could be special education, occupational therapy, speech therapy. Totally depends on what that child's need is, and we are going to support that. We may have a OT, like a sensory room designed there. These rooms can be used for the Club Ananda sessions. And remember, I said something about a smart center. So our online offerings and services will forever be offered. So just because we start a physical location in Pune doesn't mean our online stuff stops, because the accessibility is our key mission, right? So we will continue to offer the online programming for families that don't live in Pune. For families that live in Pune, they'll have a place to come in, congregate, build a community. And from that physical location in Pune, our team can then provide outreach to smaller towns outside of Pune, and have that kind of outreach model built into it. But this center will always be connected to Zoom and any other smart technologies that we can access, so that families from anywhere else can zoom in and receive the similar benefits that the children in the center are going to receive, right? So there's a group therapy room, there'll be an individual therapy room. A parent resource room is critical in my mind. A parent therapy room is critical in my mind. Like I said, oftentimes that equation of you look at a coin, and one side is the child and the other side is the parent. And what happens is that mostly people are focusing so much on the child need, which is important. Absolutely, we have to keep the child in the center of the equation. But if we don't support the other side, which is the family's needs, the mom's needs, I coach and train a lot of parents online. And one of the recurring themes that I'm seeing, especially since COVID, is the sense of isolation, the burnout, not having a place to belong, feeling alone when their child has a diagnosis of autism or developmental disability. And it's a huge, huge deal for a parent to deal with that, which is their mental health, as and also take care of their child. And so through our Family Resource Center, I want to take a proactive approach and offer resources and programming to support parents' mental health from the very beginning. So we don't want to think about what might happen to a parent after 5 years of having a child with a disability? Are they struggling? Let's not talk about that. Let's start from day one. Let's work with them to build their resilience. Let's support their emotional health and mental health needs, so that would translate to them being able to better take care of their child and their other children that they have, right? So this is a what might the center look like is a place, a house, a very family friendly environment. So not a clinical idea, it's not a clinical model where you go in and sit in a room and receive therapy. It's a family resource center. So it should feel like a welcoming place for a family to walk in, and their child receives something, the mother receives something, maybe the grandparent receives something, maybe the sibling has a program that they benefit from. So it's like looking at the entire, how do we provide resources for the whole family? That's kind of our our agenda and our intention and our plan. And of course, how might you how might you get involved, and what does this mean to you to make an investment? Your gift will go directly towards setting up and launching our FRC in Pune. So with your support, we aim to empower families and to transform the lives of their children who lack access to infrastructure and high quality resources today, right? Your support will also ensure that we continue to provide safe and inclusive learning spaces that can help children. And we really feel that this is a model, this is a pilot that we are trying to set up. It's our first center, right? So, Samarthya, like I said, we have been working diligently and successfully online. All our programs are currently online, but with this physical location that we're looking to establish, our idea is to make it like a center of excellence. Okay, and so think of it as a hub and spoke model. So the hub is the center, which is in Pune. And once it's established, once this pilot, we've given it an year or two to establish, to learn, to understand what are the needs, what are we maybe not serving, what's really working out well, how else can we improve, then we can take that model and start to do the spoke, going out into the outreach part of it and really reaching out to those 72% of those 2 million children in and around Pune. We start there, we start small, but we want to expand eventually from that one center in Pune to figure out ways in which we can really get those children. Either we go to them or they come to us, we figure out a way, or they come to us virtually. Really breaking down those barriers is our purpose. We are trying to be as innovative as we can in solving this service delivery accessibility issue, in solving this kind of last mile solution. How do we reach that one child or that one mom whose child has been diagnosed with autism and knows that there's a diagnosis, but yet doesn't have a place to go to? And it could be that we use our centers in those smaller locations once the Pune center is established, and we branch out to smaller cities. Or it could be that we set up smart rooms in government schools, partner with other organizations. We have different ways that we are thinking about as to how we can really expand our outreach and reach out to that one child, who really deserves and needs to be given that quality, high quality education, especially at a very young age, because we know that early intervention is extremely powerful. The birth to 6 years of age group is where they talk about highest, most intense brain development that happens at that time. And if at that time we can find a child, we can identify them early, and we can assess them, and we can provide them with intervention programs, their life's outcomes are going to significantly change. But yet, if we cannot find that child, and if the parent has all these barriers that I mentioned, right, like n number of barriers that they are dealing with, and they give up, and or they maybe just do something a little bit here and a little bit there without a structured approach to intervention which is evidence based, then they are going to deal with the challenges of that child's academic achievement or social inclusion, or many, many, many things that we think about. The things that we take for granted are extremely important to be thought out. And that's kind of what we are trying to do through this, establishing this family resource center in one small city, and learning from that and taking it forward from there, going forward. um, so let's I know maybe I'm going too fast, I don't know. I hope someone would stop me if I did, if there was anything you would like for me to say again or explain more. I'm happy to do that. But also wanted to make our work come to life a little bit. I know I shared a bunch of information with you, a lot of slides and a lot of words. And what's always fun is to see what this family resource center, who might it benefit and what might they look like. So I would like to share with you a parent's experience with our online programming. This parent has been associated with Samarthya since 2020, since the onset of the pandemic, when we started launching all these online programs, and everything was free of cost, and there was no accessibility issue for any parent, and parents were just coming to us from everywhere. And here's a parent who wants to share what this work means to them and their child. And they have two children who are on the autism spectrum, Joanne and Braden. And this is a phenomenally committed, engaged, and a determined family who shows up for every session, every event, therapies, and really just making their children's strengths come alive. Their children are very successful, and they have their own challenges, but they're constantly working on their strengths, which is aligns with the mission of Samarthya. Is Our tagline is celebrate ability, unleash potential. I always tell parents, you have a child with a disability. Yes. It comes with its own set of challenges. Yes. But what are your child's strengths? Let's talk about that. Let's try to focus on that. Let's work on that. And let's uplift that idea. So here is a parent who really kind of demonstrates what I'm talking about. So let's give it a listen here.
With Samarthya, yes, we have been connected for over 2 years with the various sessions of empowerment of the children as well as the parents, what have been happening. We have been a part of the sessions along with Joanne and Bryden, okay, because giving them a helping hand, right, wherever they fall short. The resources what Samarthya has come up with are great. Each and every volunteer comes with completely well preparation for every session. I understand the children very much, that probably holding hand is required for every child. Some child can be slow in something, the child can be fast in something. Reaching out to even remote areas, I will especially congratulate Ms. Shivani for this. Life has been a learning experience for her as well, and she has tried to reach every remotest of areas so that awareness and the empowerment of every special child can be reached out to. And we'll always be one of the supporting families for Samarthya, because you guys really rock and are doing a great job.
All right, so that was lovely. At my next slide, I want to set it up for you a little bit. So we have our inclusive children's books publishing unit. So where we publish children's books, but our unique proposition is that all of our children's books feature a child with a disability as the central character. Because what happens oftentimes is that I find that children with disabilities are invisible even from children's storybooks. I don't know how many of your parents on the audience are here, and how many of you have actually seen books or read books to your children that feature a character who has a disability, right? I would be curious to know this later on. I didn't find this. I mean, you have to seek out those books. And I think that if we talk about inclusion anywhere in the world, and this is not just related to India, but in the US as well, I think when we talk about an inclusive society, I think it has to start from young children. And by that, I mean having conversations with children about disabilities, which lead them to understand that difference is just difference. Different is just different, not less than, right? So we publish these lovely illustrated children's books, and we go into schools and we do storytelling sessions. We have a lot of good time with children. Children love storytellings, but we use that as a tool to have a conversation. And the conversations are just open ended about what did they maybe like about a character in the book? What was different to them? Did they know, like for example, we have a child who has dyslexia in one of the books. We talk a little bit about that with older kids. There could be a child who reads braille, so maybe children don't know what braille is. So introducing them to these ideas and the concepts, and leaving them with the strength based approach to view their peer with disabilities, I think absolutely critical. We can't talk about inclusion if we don't help children build that empathy from a young age. And I believe children are inherently empathetic, and if we can really facilitate these kinds of conversations of different abilities and what this means, and how can you still should still be a good friend, and what are strengths, and your strengths might be different from somebody else, but again, different is different, not less than. This is the bottom line that we try to share with children through our inclusive storytelling sessions. And we do this online. It's super powerful, and it's usually we get like 2 to 250 children on a Zoom session, which is a lot of fun, because when we start opening up for conversations, children just won't stop. They want to talk and talk and talk, which is lovely. And then we also, after the pandemic ended, we also started finding public schools in the country where we again go and do these sessions, and we donate our books as well. So it's all a free, initiative for the schools. They just give us the platform to come talk to their children. So the next clip I'm going to show you is our annual storytelling festival. Every December we have a virtual storytelling festival, and we invite authors, 3 to 4 authors who come in. The only criteria is that they have to read a book that features a child with a disability and have a conversation with whoever is present there. So there's a clip around that. So let's watch it.
Agadam bagadam bum bum bum. Aao chale Kolkata hum. Angry, grumpy, groany, frowny, grumbly, mumbly people. सच में मैं ऑक्टोपस था? मेरा नाम होता था हड़पापरमल, हिंगा प्रसाद, हिंगामल, हिंगामल, हिंगा प्रसाद. बस इतना सा नाम. Somebody said I'm going to put butter. Somebody said I'm going to put cheese. Somebody said jam. Somebody said butter, cheese. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. 2 hops this time. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees.
All right. So this is always a very, very fun event. And we love for children to come. They come from all over the country. We don't even know where all they come from, to be very honest. And they just show up, and they perform, they participate. We do movement-based activities. We do storytelling. We have conversations. We do craft, all in this online storytelling format. And the next slide is basically the same idea of an inclusive storytelling, but done in an in-person format with volunteers who are college students who volunteer with us to become Saamarthya ambassadors. And what they do is that we train them on storytelling. Our authors train them on storytelling, and then they go out and do these sessions and have these conversations. It's like creating that movement. It's like a ripple effect. One conversation at a time is what I believe in. So here's the next one. So I love the energy, in that room. And that was one of those times when I think we sent out 75 books to donate, because the school teachers told us that there will be 75 children attending this event. And we sent the books, and 200 kids showed up. So it's always, kids love these opportunities to learn from storybooks and have conversations. And it's quite powerful, to be very honest. This is the same, I think it's the same school, or I think it's a different school here. So here they had read the book about our Books Are Magical is one of our books where we feature a child who has dyslexia, and we sensitize them to what dyslexia is and how it comes with its own strengths, right? And so they had read the book, and now they were having a conversation. So there's a very short clip showing that. So these are our inclusion sessions, right, in person. And we are going to, of course, we want to scale our ability to do more of these events in the coming year. We do as and when we can, as and when we are able to generate a group of volunteers who are interested. But this is one of our key initiatives that we are going to, obviously work on scaling. Sorry. All right. So I'd like to leave you with a little bit of numbers, our budget that we would need to set up a pilot site next year. Of course, as I said, I have a big and a bold vision to replicate this model, and scale to other smaller cities across India. But of course, we have to start small with one center, one city, and one country. And I think with support from donors like you, I envision a world where children with disabilities from all over the world, will be able to access high quality education, which is simply their right. And we have to be able to deliver on that. So I just want to thank you, each one of you, for giving your time and coming for this talk and giving me a platform to share my journey. I want you to know that you are an equal partner in creating equity, connection, learning, belonging, and joy for all children. You can be at the heart of this movement towards creating a world where children with autism and other disabilities are seen, valued, and included. Please remember that those are the things, seen, valued, and included, are the things that don't happen. And it's my endeavor through Saamarthya Foundation and as a special educator, I work tirelessly on those three things: is how can I make a child be seen, how can I make them feel valued, and how can I make them feel included in the society. So I'm going to leave my contact information here on the screen, and of course I'll put it in the chat box as well. I have my LinkedIn, I have my phone number, my email, and our website. I would love for you to contact me. Please do contact me after this session. I would love to just chat. Subscribe to our website so you can get more updates. In short, stay connected. I would love for an opportunity to have a conversation with you, to know what you think of this work and this mission, and how might you want to. You could even volunteer, with us at Samarthya, as we are a small startup nonprofit. We have great challenges and great needs, and a big vision. So, with that, I will open up the session for Q&As and would welcome any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It was great. And we
Can
have
I
a
end
couple of,
my screen share, Fabian?
yes,
Okay,
you can keep it like that, and I will read the question for you.
sure.
So one of the question is, what type of special needs children will this hub support?
So our priority is going to be on setting up our services for children with autism and intellectual disabilities. But if we do have children with other disabilities, such as cerebral palsy or anything else like that, we will figure out a way to support their educational needs as well, because all of their educational needs can be supported by special education itself. So there is no what do you call it, limit to what we can offer. But as an organizational mission, we are focused on supporting and outreaching children with autism and intellectual disabilities in particular.
Perfect. The other question is, what is the age group? Do you provide services to transition students after your program as they progress in life or finish school?
It's such an excellent question and such an important one. Thank you for sharing that. Right now, we are offering services up to 18 years of age, but we at Samarthya have a lifespan perspective, which means that we want to figure out a way to support the entire life course of a child when they are diagnosed with a disability. So at this point, we don't have those transition services to, either employment services or things like that. But again, that's not to say that that won't happen in the future. I think we want to establish ourselves well first in a quality way in up to a certain age, and then over time, as we receive more funding and we receive grants and supports, we'll be able to scale our operations that way too, but not as of today. Our online services, we are able to offer sessions to children up to 18 years of age. And we are getting some questions from parents in our WhatsApp communities, exactly what you asked, like, are there any services for employment and vocational? And we are mindful of that. We are very much aware of the need for that. We're just not yet there.
Are we tied up with any multi-specialty hospitals for treating the children with autism?
We are working on that. We have just hired a social worker, and one of the things that she's going to be working on is creating those tie-ups with hospitals. So right now, it's more of a outreach conversation. So we don't have anything formally established, like as far as a collaboration goes. But I think it'll take time a little bit. But yes, that I think is going to have to be an approach for us to grow and scale as we go forward.
And is there any particular reason why you're planning to start with Pune, the
With
first
Pune,
one, Pune?
I think I thought about it a lot. There are two places that I had in mind. One is, of course, Pune being Maharashtra. I wanted to adopt a state and then, scale our services in one or the other. For me, I'm fluent in Marathi. I'm a Maharashtrian myself, and so I have a bit of an emotional, I think, pull with that city. I was actually even born in Pune, never lived there, but it seems like I'm going back to my roots. And the reason being, when we do have those outreach services in programs in rural areas, I want to be able to go and deliver those myself, those sessions. So I can fluently speak to families. I can go into those rural areas and just taking one state, one city, and then eventually like just saying like we have adopted Maharashtra as a state and replicate this center in multiple cities in Maharashtra. That's really the reason.
As part of the attendees, some of our team members will basically try to go and help. Do you have any plans? When are you planning to start with the space, and when kind of your timeline and also the type of help that our team can provide by going there and help you?
Sure. So we are aggressively looking at spaces right now, and we have narrowed down a couple of areas in Pune. We are not sure yet whether we are going to find a space there or not. A bit of a challenge we are dealing with it is that I really envisioned a space that was like a house, and I didn't want the clinical look and feel in the center. But in residential properties, there are a lot of restrictions that they're telling us that we cannot start a center. They'll have parking issues. I mean, there are practical logistical issues for which we are unable to find a home. What I wanted was a home, but now we're looking at some commercial spaces, which is not ideal, but we can start there and figure it out later on. And the timeline is going to be February. First week is when we hope to launch the center, and with that it means that in January, by January, we should have everything sorted and settled with the place and the location, and I'll be able to share more details with you and your community at that point. And I think the in terms of the help, I think it's going to be really it could be painting, it could be setting up the classrooms, it could be if we have the smart technology tech folks who are specializing in being able to help us set that up, because that's definitely not my expertise, as I said. Setting up technology, setting up the structure itself, clean up, painting, maybe beautifying it a little bit. It could also be, creating awareness within their networks about, parents who can then come to us. So having like a way for that as well could be. This is all I can think of right now, but I think as we find the place, I'll have a better understanding of what actually the needs are, because I don't have that place yet in my hand.
Thank you. Okay, that's all the question we have. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to be in contact. We're launching our Target Initiative campaign, and we're going to be following up your actions. I know Lava is working on the app. It's a kind of pilot app for you can show, but the idea is to build a full app in the future with dedicated staff. But I appreciate your time with At Fair Time, and I hope we can go and help you in January, February next year. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Can I just put in my information in the chat box so everybody can have it? And I
Yes, please.
I just want to give a shout out to Lava. He's here. I see he's in the chat. Thank you so much, Lava. Lava has been working with my team to build this proof of concept of an app, which is an exciting resource that we are trying to create, which is going to be again free of cost for parents. And it's going to be a library, a video library of intervention strategies that does not exist today. So what Lava is doing, and he's very humble, he will not take the credit for this. What he's doing for us is incredible, is that this proof of concept, I want to be able to take and then actually convert it into an app. and so parents can download it, and it's going to have been multilingual approach. So intervention strategies, but short nuggets, like 2 to 3 minutes of intervention strategies is what we are going to show. So our team is currently working on that. So they demonstrate a strategy on video, and that video library is going to get uploaded on the app, so parents can say, for example, I'm a parent and I'm struggling with my child's potty training. I can search for potty training in that app, and I can find demonstrations of strategies that would work. So a team of special educators is designing these strategies. You won't find it anywhere else. So it's excellent. And thank you to Fabian and Lava for, helping us with that. It's such an incredible resource for our team.
Yeah, we have a great team in this webinar and also in the offices in Hyderabad. And my goal is try to see how we can involve all of them. We are using Wistia webinar for this particular session that I mentioned to you. Can be the host for all the videos in the future, but we will talk about it. And you can see on the chat is the information, but we also publishing that information in our target initiative.
Wonderful.
And thanks to all of you that attended today. If you have any question, post it on the QA. Let me check if we have any new question. If no, yeah, we're good. Just thank you. Yes, just go ahead.
One last time, thank you to all of you. I don't know who all are here, from where, and how many, but I just want to thank you so much for taking the time. And to you, Fabian, so supportive. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to connect with your community. I think that's huge for me as a founder. So thank you again.
Thank you, and keep working hard.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.